What is up, guys? Welcome to the Gold Star Podcast, a Pokemon Collectors Podcast where we talk about all things Pokemon TCG related. Welcome to this week. My name's Seagoville TCG. This is my man, the Bearded Trainer 2, Austin. How are you today, Austin?
Oh, not too bad. Just another day in the life of Pokemon collectors, you know?
Yep, it is definitely one of those. Austin has a small little giveaway he wants to talk to you about and also give you an update on that trade-up challenge for charity that he is doing real quick before we get started.
So we'll go ahead and start with the trade-up challenge. Obviously, if you guys are familiar, follow me on Instagram or any of my socials. You know what I'm doing. I'm doing 10 trades. 10th trade, I will auction off and donate to charity. Just a little update. We are recording this on Tuesday. The card that you're seeing is obviously gone, and I've actually already made another trade after that, but I will go ahead and explain it. So this card, the PSA 8 EX Ruby Sapphire Mewtwo, is trade number 2, I believe. That one will be going off to one of our good buddy Clint's, who is on our Facebook group. He's also well known in the Pokemon community. He's got a lot of cool vintage stuff, modern stuff, all kinds of stuff. If you're looking for something, chances are he has it. If he doesn't have it, he knows where to get it.
Yep.
So after that, he is sending me 2 EX Era booster packs. I will go ahead and probably already have pictures up on my Instagram. And then I've made another trade after that, but that is to be determined, and I will fill you guys in once I get it. So to jump over to a different thing, I'm doing a little game here on our podcast. So you guys saw it last week. We have our own logo. We had made it into a Gold Star Pokemon card because that was our logo.
It's on the screen every episode.
Correct. It is actually on the screen. So to preface that card does not count. You will know what I mean once I tell you the rules. So the rules are simple. As you're watching our podcast, keep an eye on my screen. Look for the card. It is hidden somewhere in my room here. All you need to do is pause the video, screenshot it, circle it, and then DM me on Instagram. First person to do that gets a custom booster pack with full arts. I guess you could call it like a god pack. It will have 10 full art cards, and the worst card you may get in there may be like an EX. So it's worth doing. All you got to do is literally watch our podcast, find it, pause it, circle it, DM me. First one to do it.
Yep. Comment on the video and let us know that you DM'd him as well so we can be looking out for you.
Correct. And again, rules, the one on the screen does not count. You have to find the actual card hidden in my room. Somewhere in this room is the card. So yeah, it's a little fun giveaway for you guys to actually watch and look out for.
Nice. So we're going to go ahead and go on the record. This is probably going to be a shorter podcast episode, and there's a reason for that. We are recording this on Tuesday, so there is a chance we've already had Champions Path news come out this week. We are expecting some kind of news if it doesn't come out this week. Leonhardt, the biggest single Pokemon card YouTube channel out there, maybe not by subs, Unlisted Leaf has 2 million, but Leonhardt gets the most views and is the kind of the man in the Pokemon card community. He is doing the world's first ever Champions Path opening the Saturday, tomorrow, the day after this video goes up. And so we should have some kind of Champions Path news because it is being opened up on YouTube. The Pokemon company sent it to him, so it's very specifically planned that he will be opening it up on tomorrow on his channel, so be sure you check that out. So is unknown at this time on Tuesday night if they are going to give us a set list and let us know about that Charizard this week, or if they are going to wait for Leonhardt to do the opening. So if that has already happened, that's awesome. If we get Champions Path news talking about the set list, whether or not we have the Rainbow Charizard or a Gold Charizard or whatever it may be, or no Charizard, which would be worst case scenario, whatever it may be, we will probably be doing a live stream this weekend. Not sure what day, probably either Saturday or Sunday night. We'll be doing another live edition of the Gold Star podcast for you guys, talking all about Champions Path, whether we're extremely happy and excited to bust open every little ETB we have, or if we're going to be super mad and very upset at the Pokemon company for teasing us once again. So, preface for this episode. This may be a shorter episode because of that, but there is a really solid chance that we have a live edition of the Gold Star podcast this weekend. It's a little extra bonus episode for you guys, and watch us on the socials to know if that is coming. Also, big announcement just on my personal side before we get into things. Tomorrow, we are going to have an incredible mail day featuring one of the single rarest Pokemon card items in the world. So that's all I'm going to say. Get ready for that. It's going to be awesome. It's a treat. We are going to have fun opening up one of the coolest packages I will ever receive in my entire life in regards to Pokemon.
Oh, yeah.
And it is going to be a treat for you guys because you do not see it very often unless you watch vintage openings from Leonhardt. So
yep, I can definitely vouch for it. Don't miss it. Please tune in. You guys will not want to miss it.
Yep. So moving on real quick, today's big news. I don't know if you want to call it big news. Depends on your feeling towards the guy, Logan Paul, YouTube and social media sensation. He has roughly I want to say 80 something million subs on YouTube or something ridiculous. I think I looked at before that. It's something ridiculous. He is one of the most popular and followed human beings on the internet. YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. He has
22.4 million subscribers.
Yeah, huge personality. He has decided to invest in Pokemon cards. We've talked about Gary V jumping into the card world in general. Sports cards and Pokemon cards is what Gary V is doing. Logan Paul has jumped headfirst into Pokemon cards and claims that he has spent $60,000 on 7 Pokemon cards. He was on his podcast this week, I believe, and they were talking about this kind of stuff, and he asked everyone if they collected Pokemon cards and said he may have casually just dropped 60 grand, and they were coming in the following day. So it may have been revealed already what his cards were by the time this video goes up. I'm not sure. But regardless on your feelings on Logan Paul, because I'm sure there are very strong feelings either way. He's a very polarizing human being, to say the least. He is a heavy investor now and jumping in the game of Pokemon. So now we have Gary V. We have Logan Paul. These are huge names. I mean, huge social figures investing in Pokemon.
Not only huge, but 2 different sides of the spectrum as far as what they do, personality. So if that doesn't tell you how investable, I guess, if it's the correct word to use, this hobby is. Whether you like him or hate him, both those 2 guys are good examples of why this is a good hobby to get into.
Right. And Gary, you kind of have Gary is one of the world's biggest entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs out there today. Logan he's also a businessman. He does have, I believe, a clothing line and stuff. He's not stupid. I mean, he acts like a moron occasionally. I'm sorry, but he is a businessman too. But 2 very different personalities and stuff going out into this hobby. I'm sure there are a whole lot more that we just haven't heard of yet, but hobby is very healthy. What does it mean? Not a whole lot to tell. Guys like that could come in and start driving the market of base set first edition, but that's already been going up because we've seen that with this influx of people coming back out of nostalgia and stuff over the last 6 months, especially. We've seen just the giant influx, the giant just boom of the hobby, and we've seen those older cards start to climb up in value because it's all these people that are our age that finally have jobs and money and stuff, and they're coming back and they want to relive their childhood. So you've seen the price of base set, especially first edition base set, skyrocket, all the, Rocket, Fossil. Those are still kind of low, honestly. I'm still kind of shocked that we have Rocket, Fossil, and Jungle. I can understand Jungle because there's not really a lot in that set, but there's... Prices are still pretty low on those, but
yeah, I mean, unless you're going for first edition, but even some of those sets, because I'm personally trying to collect the Rocket first edition, still pretty affordable cards until you get to some of the heavy hitters. Then you're going to look at spending some for first edition. But other than that, as a set, as a whole, they are still pretty low. Of course, besides, to some of the other sets I don't know, Skyridge,
Aquapolis, all the big e-reader sets and stuff like that.
All the e-readers, those are just... They're continuing to go up and up and up. Where kind of Jungle, Fossil, Rocket, they're kind of slightly going up, but kind of flat.
They're also printed into the ground, whereas these other sets were very limited. So availability is another thing. But yeah, so there you have it, Logan Paul. We're not going to harp on that too much because we don't really know what's going to mean for the market. I believe he said like the money he spent was like on first edition base set cards, which is again no surprise. That's what a lot of these people are going for when they're jumping back in because that was their childhood, and he is obviously a very wealthy human being who can just jump right in and afford that. Hence, he dropped 60 grand like it was nothing.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen it or we haven't heard what cards he's bought yet. If you're into the set, you know what it is. If it's first edition base set, you can probably guess, the 7 cards that he bought.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and say it's probably 1 through 7.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we have that. We do have some new product news this week. We're going to go ahead and jump over here to the monitor. This is the Sword and Shield Ultra Premium Collections. We've had varying news. Originally, we were told about, which we didn't cover these in last week's episode, we were originally told about these ETB boxes, which are incredible looking, these Zacian and Zamazenta ETB Pluses. Then that came out and was told to us that was UK only, and everyone was really confused and disappointed because these are incredible looking Elite Trainer boxes, like absolutely phenomenal. But then now has come our product to the US. They were like, haha, forget you other countries. The US is getting the coolest freaking product they have ever released. You want to talk about this one, Austin?
Yeah, so of course, we always have to try to outdo people. So
right.
But so originally it was going to be Elite Trainer Box Plus, which essentially is just both Elite Trainer boxes, and it was saying that it was going to be an international purchase only. Now we are getting info that the Elite Trainer Box Plus is still international only. However, the US said, you know what, let's one-up them, and we're going to do the Ultimate Premium Collection.
Which is
so
nuts.
if you look at it, I'm guessing this top flap is kind of like the magnetic, so it flaps over. It's kind of like a magnetic, but it folds out, and it almost looks like a playing board. But as you can see, it's a gold-plated or gold sheen with both doggos on it. And then if you look up, you're going to get inside, I believe, both Elite Trainer boxes.
Yeah, he just got the Zacian on the
and
left.
Zamazenta. So it's going to be $100 value. Totally worth it. You're going to get one special gold version of each doggo. So Zacian V, Zamazenta V. 2 sets of metal damage counters. So not your normal cardboard, pop out, lose them, throw them to the side. You're going to get 2 metal damage counters, 12 dice. 2 metal coins featuring both dogs, 2 sets of card sleeves. I'm assuming they're going to be featuring Zacian and Zamazenta.
It's probably going to be the black and gold, just like the box.
Yep. 130 in all. A set of richly designed metal condition markers, which is cool. That's your kind of damage or your poison marker. 16 TCG booster packs, so not your typical. Obviously, it's going to have.
It's probably going to be all the sets up to this point. Probably it's probably going to be Sword and Shield through Vivid Voltage. I doubt it has Champion's Path because that's probably going to be exclusive.
No,
but it will probably be Sword Shield through Vivid.
I would say Sword and Shield through Vivid, especially if it's going to be featuring the gold cards of both doggos. Those were heavily.
Honestly, it could be 4 of each because it could be Sword and Shield base, Rebel Clash, Darkness Ablaze, and Vivid. It's 16, so you
that
could
makes sense.
I don't know that. I'm just spitballing.
And then, of course, your normal stuff that comes in, like your Elite Trainer boxes, so your promo, your TCG rule booklet, your code cards for the box. So I think for me, definitely worth the $100 value. However, it's going to be one of those things that's hard. So do I want to buy 2 of them? Because one of them needs to, I think, investability-wise.
That's going to be a collector's piece.
Yeah, so keep it sealed, honestly, because nowadays it's not as big as like the Hidden Fates set, obviously, but look how hard it is now to find an ultra premium, Hidden Fates collection box
for
still
sure.
sealed. And if you do find one, you might as well cut off your arm and leg to give it to.
Oh yeah, you're paying at least double.
So this one, I would say, if pre-orders come out and stuff is available, if you have the ability to buy multiple, I would, because it's also going to be one of those things that you really want to crack into, because you're getting, I'm assuming, a alternate version of what the gold Zacian and Zamazenta V cards were.
I wish they'd show. They're not going to show them to us until later on, but I bet it's going to be cool. It's probably going to be like, they had the promo 10 Zacian V and Zamazenta V. It's probably be something like that, only the gold cards.
Not to mention you're getting 16 booster packs to crack into.
Mm.
All the metal coins. I know there's some coin collectors since Pokemon has started having coins made from different collection boxes and stuff. I know there's a lot of people out there that like to collect the coins. So you're getting 2 metal coins. Not to mention those really, if it looks like what the artwork does, the card sleeves that you're going to be getting. I mean, who wouldn't want to put their cards in those card sleeves?
Right.
So honestly, I would say if you can get your hands on multiple, I would, so you can keep one sealed as an investment, and then the other one obviously to crack into for some fun, because I feel like this is one of the better products.
I'm excited.
The Pokemon Company has, even if you manage to somehow just snag like the ETB by itself, those are great. But having both of them,
we've never seen them put 2 ETBs in one collection thing before. That's brand new for them.
And honestly, if you get 2 of them, keep one sealed. But even if you have one open in your set and have it open kind of like this picture is, that right there would be... I mean, this is literally, I think, one of the most beautiful products that Pokemon has come out with in a long time.
Yeah, I'll be real interested to see how quick this gets bought up, because it is the single most gorgeous thing I think they've done in at least a year. It looks better than the Hidden Fates box. It doesn't have that kind of boom factor that Hidden Fates had, of the fact that Hidden Fates was the limited, like, crazy, insane set that it was. We are looking at 4 Sword and Shield things. So I'll be interested to see how quick these get bought up and stuff, but the product itself looks awesome.
I could see them getting bought up fairly quickly, not even just for the stuff that's inside, but just because of how it looks.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a really cool display piece, too.
Very, very cool.
So we do have that. We also have, we'll jump back over here real quick, a Zacian V League Battle Deck. These are very similar. We have the Pikarom and the Charizard, Reshiram and Charizard League Battle Decks. This isn't anything crazy. It's a League Battle Deck featuring Zacian and ADP. I don't play the game, but I know very well that ADP and Zacian are 2 of the single most dominant cards in the competitive metagame. So it looks like they're really just straight up giving you, just like they did with the Pikachu and Zekrom, they're literally just giving you a really good competitive deck that is very common in the game right now. This one, people were holding on to the Pikachu and Zekrom and Reshiram and Charizard. They're taking a lot longer to phase out than people thought. You can still, like, my Walmart has tons of each still. This one, the Charizard and Pikachu one, like, it was Charizard and Pikachu, so it was kind of collectible. This one, I don't think is really going to be collectible, because it's Zacian and ADP type of thing, and not Charizard or Pikachu. But that is a product that's coming out. It's going to be a competitive league deck. Nothing too crazy there.
And honestly, if you're a seal collector, it's not a bad piece to put on your shelf either.
Yeah,
it's going to be a good one, I think, at least for seal collections. Not as far as value, but we do know there's people out there that every time something comes out, they get it.
Oh, for sure.
Collection. So it's a good looking piece, at least.
It's better than the theme decks, if anything.
Yes. Honestly, I am not a huge fan of theme decks.
Oh, I hate them.
I like the league battle decks a little better, because you at least know the value with what you're getting. Theme decks, I feel like, are almost like what I do with my bulk, when you just kind of put your bulk together and throw them in the stack and say, here you go. You know, you're not really getting anything out of them. So
one last thing today. Now, we were on the fence of doing this section, but we're going to do it anyway. We're going to make our final predictions for Champions Path. We know very well that by the time this video releases, since we're recording this on Tuesday, we may have news, but it might be kind of fun to look and see how wrong or right we were. So we're going to make our final predictions for Champions Path. Leonhardt, again, is going to be doing the opening. We're both big fans of Leonhardt. Please go watch that video. It's going to be very cool. I do believe this may be the first time that, I mean, Leonhardt's been the first person to open product before, but this may be like the most anticipated one, because like we literally know nothing. Like, at least Darkness Ablaze and a couple others we knew about the set. Nobody knows crap about Champions Path other than like a couple V and VMAX cards, and that is literally it. So make sure you are watching Leonhardt's video tomorrow. It should be very informative and cool. We're gonna get our first official look at Champions Path stuff. The big question, I mean, let's jump to it. Are we getting the Zard or not? We are officially a week away from the first ever opening, and 2 weeks away from the release of the set. We still don't know if we're getting a Rainbow Charizard is on the cover of the box. They've never in the history of the Pokemon, as far as I know, released something that's on an ETB that was not in the set. We were talking about that before. To see, we went down Evolutions, Burning Shadows, Cosmic Eclipse, Unified Minds, all the Sword and Shield sets.
Even the set that's not out yet, Vivid Voltage, they have released sets. Pikachu's on there, Gigantamax Pikachu. That's the chase card. So if you literally go through the ETBs, if you can name one ETB box that doesn't have the chase card. Heck, even the premium collection box that we just talked about has 2 golden doggos, and you get those. They have literally not had an ETB where the chase card or the hit card in that set was not on the box.
Yeah.
I think we have to get something.
We're either going to get Rainbow or Gold. In my personal opinion, that's what I'm calling. I think it's going to be Rainbow because that just makes sense. Since we got the 4 that's in Japan, it literally only makes sense that we get the Rainbow that was also in Japan that we've already seen. That is the most logical thing. However, there is a lot of speculation, including Leonhardt. I'll put a screenshot of the tweet he replied to me on Twitter this week. I was like, are we finally going to get the Rainbow Zardy Boy? And he was like, or possibly the gold one. I mean, it is gold on the box. There has been speculation of that. I don't know if they're going to do that because, one, we haven't seen any of that in Japan. Now, again, Japan is getting exclusive stuff, and we've gotten stuff that they haven't gotten before. However, I don't know if they're going to put the gold one and keep it this hush-hush.
Kind of looking at the picture, though, can you call it like a gold color? It's almost like a bronze.
Yeah.
Like copper color, so I don't know. But the thing is, I don't think they can not have it in the set.
There would literally be riots, man.
For me, riot if it's not. 2, if it's just an alternate art, we riot.
Yeah, they have too much PR on the line. Darkness Ablaze has been a huge hit. It's been a big success, I think. But Darkness Ablaze came with so much disappointment that we weren't getting it. And there was, again, it's been a massive success. It's a fantastic set. Don't get me wrong. However, but
fool me once, shame on you.
Yeah, if they do that twice within a month of each other, literally a month, that is the worst PR decision that they could. They will lose people. They may not lose a ton. People aren't going to just stop over that, but they're going to lose people because there have been a lot of people that have invested a lot of money in this off of your false advertising. If you do that, and you're going to lose people if you do that twice in a row.
For all my conspiracy theorists out there, I know there are some. This is my little theory. Take this for what you want. Spin it, look at it, agree, disagree. My thing is they chose Leonhardt because he's one of the biggest influencers in the Pokemon world. Okay. 2, he's been on this push for 1 million subs for a while now, and I believe at the time of recording this video, he's 10,000 away. He's
getting pretty close.
He's probably going to break it this Saturday, if he's not already broken.
I think his predictions are end of September, so end of this month.
So here's my thing. Pokemon has worked with Leonhardt before. Like we said previously, they have sent him stuff to open on the channel before anybody else has had it, along with a select few other YouTubers. But he's usually numero uno. He's the one person that the Pokemon company reaches out to. My theory is, hey, help us help you. You're close. We know you're pushing for that 1 million. You've sent us so much, people. We've sent you stuff. Kind of help us out. I feel like there is going to be a rainbow or a gold card. I feel like they're going to utilize Leonhardt and his following / helping him push over to that 1 million. And I think we're going to see the full reveal of the set on his channel, which is why we haven't seen a card list or a set list or anything on the set.
It's very interesting that he has a very specific date that he's opening it, and they give you dates it's just like stores. They give them street dates that they can't break and stuff like that. But it is very interesting that he has a specific date for this.
He has a date. We have one set that now surpasses Champion's Path and Vivid Voltage, and we have a set list for that.
We have a large set list for that.
We are literally weeks, days away from the release of Champion's Path, and all we have are the veggies. We have no meat and potatoes. We just have salad and soup.
We have 3 VMAX cards that aren't that impressive. The Gardevoir's okay.
here's your soup and a water. So
like we don't have any. Like it would if we went off the set list that we have today, which is like VMAX Dreadmaw, VMAX Gardevoir. I don't even remember the third Alchemy, right?
Yep.
VMAX Alchemy. Like that is
There's
trash.
nothing.
Like that is worse than Steam Siege.
Yes, dude. I was gonna say I know there's some people out there that literally are not giving up on Steam Siege, but this is smelling like a Steam Siege pile of poo.
It really is.
So,
it looks awful.
Literally,
right
if we
now.
just take our points here, specific time and date that he's doing the video, that happens to be days before the release of Champions Path. Literally have a Charizard VMAX form on an Elite Trainer box, and you go through every Elite Trainer box, and there's not a Pokemon that has been advertised on an ETB that was not a chase card in the set.
It'll be exactly 2 weeks before the release when he does this. So exactly 2
weeks.
Weeks.
Yeah. Point number 3 is Leonhardt being one of the number one influencers for the Pokemon Company as far as YouTube and social media goes for the card game here. He's on a push to 1 million, and he's very close. So I really feel like because they have been in each other's lives for so long and kind of defined who Leonhardt is, I feel like it's one of those like, hey, help us, we'll help you. You get us that final push. We know we kind of upset a lot of people with Darkness Ablaze. Let's come out with this big surprise and literally wait to the last moment and have, honestly, I don't think you could have a different person do this to where it wouldn't bring a lot of hype to it. I could probably think of a couple, but I don't think it would hit as hard as like
Leonhardt's the biggest guy.
Literally, like when he says something or when he shows something, like it's going to get views, it's going to get out there. People are, even if you like him or hate him, guess what? People always continue to come back and watch him. And everything that he has either said or done has been facts or straight from the horse's mouth. Like, here, this is what you're getting. This is what it is. So I feel like we're going to be in for a big surprise tomorrow for that video.
I sure hope so. So final predictions, we both think we're getting a Zard. Let us know in the comments below if we don't already have the news, what you think is all going to be in Champions Path. So again, we may already have the list, but such is the ways of that our schedules worked out this week. But thank you guys so much for watching. Be ready if we do get all the news. We may be doing a live stream this weekend, either tomorrow night or Sunday night. Follow us on our socials. We will be sure to blast out there. Join the community Discord, and the link or in the description below. The link is in the description below for the Discord. We'll also be announcing it there as always. So yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out. Thank you for checking out the Gold Star Podcast. You have anything else before we go, Austin?
Yep, don't forget, follow my Instagram for my trade-up challenge. Join the Discord. I also put a bunch of stuff in there. And remember, little caveat, this giveaway for our card that is hidden somewhere in my room here is US only. So I am sorry for all you international watchers. However, I may, depending on how much this gets, do an international one as well. But I want to see if this actually even takes off to anything. So remember, pause it, look for it, highlight it, circle it, DM me, let me know that you found it. First person to do it gets a custom booster pack.
Nice. All right, guys, thank you so much for checking out the Gold Star Podcast. Be ready for a live this weekend, and we will catch you guys on the next one. Later.
See ya.
What's up, guys? Obviously, we said that we filmed this episode of the Gold Star Podcast on Tuesday night, and we said all throughout that that they very well could hit us with Champions Path news before Leonhardt's opening tomorrow. And sure enough, Thursday, leave it to a day before this video drops, they hit us with the biggest of Champions Path news, that we are not only getting the Rainbow Charizard VMAX, but we are getting a Shiny V that literally nobody predicted. Absolutely insane. Sent the internet into a crazy storm yesterday. However, we already filmed this episode, so I hope you enjoyed our predictions and our little talk and stuff. So I know there's probably going to be comments like, oh, they announced this already. What are y'all doing? If the people that didn't watch the whole thing. But anyway, we are going to be doing a live version of the Gold Star Podcast this weekend, talking all about Champions Path and geeking out with all of you and freaking out over our Shiny Charizard that we all of a sudden have that Japan doesn't. It's going to be absolutely amazing. So be on the lookout for that in your sub boxes. Making sure you hit subscribe and that bell so you don't miss it. We would love for every single one of you to come join us to just join in on that live conversation about Champions Path. We'd love to talk to you. We love talking to all of you, especially in live stream. So come hang out for that. Be on the lookout for that. Follow us on social media to know when that is, and we will catch you guys then. Later.